In this episode, we talked about plantar fasciitis, the best hamstring stretch, and the more controversial topic, chiropractor versus PT. Hey everyone, this is Gorby, your physical therapist, and you're watching the E-Rehab show. Whew. Okay guys, so first episode of the E-Rehab show, so I'm very excited. So I created this show for you guys. So I wanted to bring physical therapy closer to you. So I know with regards to a lot of restrictions that we have because of COVID, some people doesn't have the opportunity or don't have the opportunity to go to a rehab facility to do their physiotherapy, and I'm here to help and supplement that. So if you have questions about your body, guys, about any pains and aches that you feel, so you just have to ask me, guys, questions about your body and I will answer them for you. So that's the reason why I'm doing this show. I hope I can do this every week or on a weekly basis and answer a few questions that you guys might have, probably 3 to 5 questions that you guys have about your body. So you can send in your questions via Facebook, Instagram, or even just on the comment section of this video. I'll look at it and I'll try to answer it for you here in video format. If you need some exercise tips or I need to demonstrate some things, I can show you easily how to do it. So yeah, please drop in your questions. So let those questions come in. Either you send it to me via Facebook, Instagram, so I linked my profile below so that you can DM me your questions, or even just here in the comment section of YouTube, you can ask me those questions. Okay, so first episode, let's get right into it.
Jenko asks, are there any tips you can give me for heel spur and plantar fasciitis?
Okay, so tips with regards to plantar fasciitis. So it's a very vague or a very broad question, but I can give you 3 tips for this specific question that you have. No? So the first one is I want you to be really smart about your condition. So what I mean by becoming or being really smart is for you to, so it's a few things. So one is I need you to make sure that what you're currently having right now is really PF or plantar fasciitis. So there are a lot of cases that can mimic plantar fasciitis. So I'll link a video here about a differential diagnosis for plantar fasciitis. So it's a list of cases that is mimicking as plantar fasciitis, but it's actually not. So I want you to take a look at that and watch that video so that you can be informed. Probably it's not PF or it's not plantar fascia. So any type of treatment that you do, if it's not, that is for plantar fasciitis, if it's not plantar fasciitis, it's not going to work. So that's one way of looking at it. And then second is for you to actually do your research and try to compare it to the symptoms that you have. So and make sure that you're actually looking at really good resources, really credible resources while you're doing your research. So I'm not that medical practitioner that will say, oh, don't trust Google, etc., etc. So I think it's really smart for patients to research about their case. But there's a missing link on that, which is I need you also to confirm it to a licensed medical practitioner. So once you research, got a lot of information about your case, about your problem, about your plantar fasciitis, I need you to make sure and I need you to confirm it with a medical practitioner or a licensed medical practitioner, because that's really smart thing to do. So you're not just basing everything on research, but there's a guy who, or there's a practitioner that is like who studied it for a long period of time and knows what he or she is doing, and confirming that to you and then giving you some tips on what exercises or what treatments will actually work for your case. I think that's really smart. And then, so I know that's why you're here in the show. So you're there already and you're asking for more. So the second tip that I have is actually in relation to that first point, which is becoming really smart about your condition, is all about insoles. So a lot of people right now are really clinging on and looking on to insoles to solve their PF or to solve their plantar fasciitis. And I hate to break it to you guys, but it's not going to cure your plantar fasciitis. So insoles can only help you reduce that pain or discomfort during the acute stage of your problem, but it's not going to totally cure or totally help you with your plantar fasciitis. So usually with insoles or like those kinds of taping that stops your foot from pronating or supinating, it's helpful in acute cases, but it's not good when you're in that recovery stage already, because it's not smart to stop a certain movement type or a certain movement that is happening, that should biomechanically or that should be normally happening on your foot. So those anti-pronation treatments or techniques, I don't think it's really smart. Your foot needs to experience both pronation and supination, and I'll give you actually an exercise for you to do that. Okay guys, so with regards to our foot, our plantar fascia, so we wanted again to train the foot to experience both the pronation and the supination, because we need those two movements again for the foot to properly function. So we're gonna use a slider, or even though you're just on a sock, you can do this. So for example, we're exercising this foot or this leg. So what we're going to do is we're gonna stand here. The foot is facing directly on this angle, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to try and rotate your body going this way. It creates that turning out movement of the whole body, and it creates that supination of the foot. And then you're going to do the reverse, which is also the pronation. It creates that pronation mechanics of the foot. And in this exercise, you're allowing your foot to move on both ends of supination and pronation. So this is supination and pronation. Okay, and the last point that I wanted to make is, this is in general, so not just with plantar fasciitis, even though your condition is not actually PF, so this is going to help you also, which is for you to just invest with your body. Invest in taking care of your body. So that's what I wanted to say. And what I mean by that is not just on the monetary side wherein you buy things or you purchase this types of treatment. I'm not talking about that, but I need you to like give your time, your energy, and yes, your resources to your body. Because if you look at it, your body is the only thing that you permanently have. So it's irreplaceable, guys, and you need to take care of it. So it's not like your phones or your laptop or your iPad that you can just replace when broken. So if something is already wrong in your body, you need to make sure you're giving it time, effort, and resources for you to actually sort that out, because you can't replace a broken shoulder or a broken back or a broken arm. So actually there's a story with this guy. So he injured his back like very big time. Like I think he was ultimately diagnosed with like severe sciatica with disc protrusion on his lower back. And he told me that he didn't give time and effort doing some stretches or mobility work or warm-up exercises. And then he's regretting it. And then he's asking me, I wish I just have a new back. But it's too late. So right now, even though you don't feel any type of pain or discomfort, I need you to make sure that you're putting in as an ample amount of time, effort, energy, resources into taking care of your body, because that's the only thing, guys, that you truly own while you're here on earth. Whew. That's a lot, I think, but that's for your question. The second question, let's go to the second question.
Aman asked, can you suggest some good stretches for the hamstrings?
Okay, what's the best stretch for hamstring? So there are a lot of types and there are a lot of kinds of stretches that you can do with your body. So if you're asking for the best one, I'm only looking at two criteria. So first is when you do that specific stretch, you feel it on that specific muscle. So for example, you're doing a calf stretch. If you don't feel it on your calf, it's not a calf stretch. If you're doing a hamstring stretch and you're not feeling it on your hamstrings, or it's not, the sensation that you feel is not a stretch, it's not a good one. And then the second thing I look at is results. So for example, you have tight calves and you wanted to stretch your calves. So you do this specific type of calf stretching, but then when you test how your ankle moves, specifically dorsiflexion or going up, your ankle range of motion is still limited. So for me, the best type of work or the best type of stretch for a certain area, I need to see results. I need to see that you gain a little bit of range of motion after doing the stretch. So I think that's a good one. And yeah, I'll show you a few things that you can do for your hamstrings. Okay guys, for our hamstrings, the best type of stretch is the one wherein you feel it on your hamstrings the most, and that a stretch that can provide you results, meaning you have that increase in range of motion. So we have this technique which we call contract relax. So you're trying to contract that muscle that you wanted to elongate, and you wanted to create that fatigue factor, and then once the muscle is fatigued, you increase the range of motion bit by bit so that you can have results, and it's actually effective guys in like increasing the range of motion. So how do we do it if you're just on your own? So I need you to have a platform for this one guys. You place the leg that you wanted to stretch, and then what you're going to do is from your heel, I just need you to press down on that platform. Hold it for 6 to 8 seconds and then relax. So this creates that contraction of the posterior chain, including the hamstrings. So press down on your heel there and relax. Now what you're going to do is you're going to hinge your hips back a little bit and then press down again and relax. Hinge down again, press and relax. Hinge down again, press and relax. So for me, that's my max. And then try to do a toe touch or try to check your range of motion if it gets better. The second way I wanted to do it is for me to stretch the different fibers of the muscle that you wanted to stretch. So I call this one the 3D stretch or a 3D mobility exercise. So I'll place the leg that I wanted to stretch here. And then from here, I'm just going to hinge back. So this is the first dimension. And come back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add rotation towards the left and rotation towards the right. So from here, I'm hinging back and then I'm rotating going this way and come back. This creates a stretch on the hamstrings, same thing, hamstrings, but on the inner side, much more than the outer side. So again, from here, hinge back and then rotate and come back. Now, if I wanted to elongate or stretch the outer part of the hamstrings, I'll do the same thing. I'll hinge back, but I'm gonna rotate this way. This creates a big stretch on the outer part of your hamstrings. So if you do this move, that's one. If you do these moves for 10 reps, 3 sets, and then try to recheck again your range, you should feel much better on your hamstrings and your mobility should improve. All right, guys, and then the last question that we have is...
Edward asked, is Chiro okay? What's your take on Chiro versus PT?
Oh, this is tough. This is very political. Chiro versus PT. Chiro versus PT. Okay. So there's a lot of politics going on around this one. And I think patients are confused right now on like which type of practitioner they should see. Is it a PT or is it a chiro? So I'm a physical therapist, but I won't be biased with my answer. I think in terms of like level of expertise, like if I look at the overall practice or the overall profession, I think they're at the same level. Yes, they are in the same level. They have different specializations. So I personally think that we have the same way of that we have a goal in making sure that the patient is better and the patient progresses and the patient is actually like returning to their previous lifestyle. It's just the way that is different. So we have different specializations. Usually with physios, we specialize in exercise. Usually with chiros, they specialize with you specialize with exercise prescription. With chiros, they specialize with adjustments. So they do a certain type of joint mobilization or joint manipulation on the body, and that's their way of getting the patients back to their normal function. I personally think that patients can benefit from both, and they should be subscribing with both practices for them to like speed up their recovery process. I personally think that if those two professions can just work together, I think patients will get better faster, and it's just a win-win for the market of like healthcare in general. So I think so in short or in summary, I think the two professions need to be working together and not destroying each other. I think both have different things that can offer the table in terms of like patient care, and I think both can help. Again, it's going back to you guys being smart about it. So yeah, basically that's my answer. If you guys have any more questions, you can put it down here in the comment section. I'll try to answer it for you. I'll try my very best to really answer it for you guys. Again, my mission is to heal the world through physiotherapy and educate the world about the human body. The goal of this show is to bring physical therapy closer to you guys, so you can watch my videos, and then if you have a specific question, there's a resource for you, and you can just look at it and watch the video and then try the exercises or try a few of my tips, and I hope that it can supplement in terms of you taking care of your body. So yes, that's basically my mission. So again, if you have any questions, send me those questions here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube comments. I'll answer it for you, DM, PM, whatever you call it. Send those questions in, I'll answer it for you. Oh, I also have TikTok, but it's for my Filipino subscribers. So if you want to watch those, I put out also content there. So, and if you guys have questions also, you can put your questions there. I'll try to show it here on this show. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the first episode of this show, E-Rehab show, with me, Gorby, your physical therapist. Question of the day for you guys before we end: what specific type of pain or problem you are currently experiencing right now? So write it down in the comment section here in this video, and you might be featured. Most likely you will be, because this is just the start of the very first E-Rehab show here in YouTube. The very first E-Rehab show with Gorby, your physical therapist, bringing physical therapy closer to you. See you guys on the next episode, and make sure you watch the next video suggested here.